Yeah, part two. Um, and how has my life, been affected by it? But even, an example of it even is this current kind of impasse, and the way we're being treated in relation to the redress scheme. I just experienced that as a massive rejection. That's the way I experience it. It makes me feel really, 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 really down and low. It impacts me greatly. It triggers me. I get very anxious around it. When there's anything on the telly or on the news, I can feel my heart rate rising. I can feel, my blood pressure rising. I feel very sad. And yet I know that I have to sit and push through it and watch it. If you consider for a minute, some of the things that, grown up as an adopted person, I grew up in a very normal working class family in the middle of Bray. Um, there was nothing unusual at the time in relation to the type of parenting I received. It was normal for the time. But if you make a comparison to any of you guys who've grown up within your own family, for as an example, so when I was growing up and I look at my mum and dad, my brothers and sisters, my aunts and uncles, my cousins, I couldn't see myself in any of them. And if you think about it, if you're growing up in your own family, there will be genetic mirroring that is very obvious to you. You will know what the family look like, what they sound like, all of that sort of stuff. None of that happened for me. And as I got older and older and older, that really impacted me, and I began to realize that that in essence, I grew up not really knowing who I was, my core identity. And then simple things like, all of you guys who grew up in your own family can walk straight in and get your own birth cert, for example. And I can't. And even when I managed to get a certificate, it wasn't a birth cert. It was an extract from the adoption register. And then when I had a child of my own, it was triggered what should have been a massively happy time in my life, which was a massively happy time in my life. But it also reminded me that this was the first individual that I had a relationship with that carried the same blood and same genes as me. And then, years later, then I completed and done my DNA. And I start to see loads and loads and loads of people who share the same DNA as me, but I have no idea who they are. They're all just strangers. And I had an opportunity to meet one of those strangers recently, Patrick, who's my brother. And that was just a wonderful experience. And he was very kind and gentle soul, very understanding, him and his wife, Gemma. But that triggers a massive amount of stuff for me now as well, because here's someone that there are family resemblances, so we might look a little bit alike, but we have no common ground up to the point of the day that we met. So although I'm 57, now I'm only starting a journey to get to know someone. And yet the government would have you believe that the fact that I spent less than 6 months in an institution has had no effect on me whatsoever, and I'm not deserving of any redress. But not just me. This is not about me. This is about everyone else who's in the same boat as I am. And it's about you guys in the social care world really having an understanding of how early life circumstances can really have a traumatic effect on the individual. So whether you're working with children or adults, It's worth thinking about all that, isn't it? Thanks.